Well, hello there. It's Stephanie here. Welcome or welcome back. Mm. Today I'm going to read something that I wrote a few months ago and I've been putting off actually recording and sharing. I have been focusing a lot on my ASMR content for embodiment practices, which I'm still continuing to do. But I feel compelled to share this because I have a little bit of context. I have very different content on TikTok that's more similar to my shorts here on YouTube. Um, and I talk a lot about healing from people pleasing as a woman conditioned in patriarchal religion. My flavor was Mormonism. And something that for me, after I left, I was still in a marriage that had that religious conditioning loaded in that relationship dynamic where, like, a good example is in the Mormon temple, I had to covenant through my husband. He covenanted with God. I didn't actually get to covenant directly with God. And I've heard that has changed since I went through the temple. But regardless, it doesn't matter. There is this hierarchical structure within patriarchal religions, Abrahamic religions to be, very, it is what it is. Anyhow, all of this to say, that's the context from where this is coming from. I'm going to share it today, and hopefully it validates someone out there who has navigated a similar journey. Because let me tell you what, being conditioned as a woman within Mormonism and religions of a similar nature, it makes you feel like you have to be invisible and pleasing and palatable in order to be loved in any way. Like you have to bow to authority, and other people know better for you than you know for you. You don't get to trust your knowing, you don't get to trust your gut. So, I'm going to go ahead and share this, and I hope it sends out some positive ripples into the world that helps you choose yourself a little bit more deeply because you deserve, and I mean this, you deserve to prioritize your well being. And if you were conditioned as a woman, you have internal biases against your well being without even realizing that they're there, automatically suppressing your needs and your knowing in order to be pleasing and palatable to people outside of you. And it's a cultural expectation in many ways, not just in religion, in any structure system that is patriarchal in nature. Women are conditioned to be pleasing and palatable and take responsibility for the discomfort of others and change themselves to keep other people comfortable, even when it directly conflicts with their well being, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Okay, if you're still with me, let's get into this. Mm. A little note before I read this. There are contracts we sign without ever holding a pen. They live in the pauses, the glances, the holy hush that rewards our silence. This piece is for the woman who was praised for disappearing and is now brave enough to return to herself. It's called Between the Lines. The sacred silence lived between the lines, felt, known, and obeyed. The unspoken contracts of invisibility agreed to beneath a system that crowned man head and called women's silence sacred. Roles born in religion, where obedience was love, submission was holiness, and disappearing was devotion. where the hierarchy was clear. God is greater than man is greater than woman, and woman is greater than child. Etched in scripture and enforced through walls, words, and withdrawal. Agree to the terms, and you're rewarded with conditional belonging, so long as you do not speak from the part of you that knows. Refuse them, and you're met with silence that cuts deeper than words, the righteous standard of a system unchallenged within relationship. Read between the lines, lines that will never be acknowledged, painted by egos shaped in patriarchy, still ruled by the ghost of a man-made God. A woman returning to self requires her to disregard the lines painted by the egos of men, to reclaim her voice, her body, her truth, in a world that calls the surrender to knowing and trusting self a sin. Between the lines, the only holy woman is the silent one. The only loved woman is the obedient one. Mm, mm. I'm not sure who needed to hear that today, and I would love to know how it met you. Let me know in the comments what your experience of that was.